Okay, guys. Good. Good job. Okay, so we'll start with some star jumps. We'll go Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, yon, hop, yo, il, e, sam, sa, lo, yuk, jil, pop, goof, and sip. Okay, so we just roll our shoulders forwards. Hana, do, set, net backwards, das, yas, il, go side to side. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll stretch your left. Hana, do, set, net change, das, yas, il, you'll. This time we're going to go toe to toe, just touching. So Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll, hop, yo, in, e, sam, sa, o, yuk, jil, up, do, sit. Okay, so from here we sit back on our left leg up on the right heel. Just push your bottom out. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll change. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll change. This time step out to the side edge of the foot. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll change. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. So I found something really interesting about this stretch out. I'm just playing around with it. When you stretch out, if you push your back foot, if you push it towards the floor to try to get all of your foot flat, you'll feel it right up here. So you'll feel the stretch there and you'll feel the stretch here. So try and with your foot if you can, push it that way. Hana, do, set, net change. And again, same thing. I go back, just push your foot to the backwards. Hana, do, set, net. It changes the stretch completely. Walk the foot. Hana, do, set, net change. Das, yas, il, you'll. So this time up on the heel, sit back. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll change. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. And unjaw. Okay, so again, stretching forwards. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. Bringing out the right leg inside, stretching forwards. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. Grabbing the right heel, really stretch out to the sides. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. Change sides. So again, right foot inside, stretching forwards. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. Grabbing the left leg. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll, hop, and you'll. Both legs together. Okay. Again, just here, the first stretch we're going to do is just press our knees towards the floor, so you feel the stretch inside your glutes. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. This time, you grab your ankles, press down just with your elbows. So Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. This time, press down with your elbows, up with your knees. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. And then your legs apart. So again, stretching out. Again, we're just going to lean forwards. Again, from the belly button, back straight, just lean forwards. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. You'll stretch your left leg. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, il, you'll. Your right leg. Hana, do, set, net, das, yas, Yo, both legs together. Okay. Again, we'll try the knees to the chest stretch or over the top. Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. Good. Yo, foots. And last time, legs apart. Okay. Nice and wide, guys. A little bit wider. Stretching forwards again, just slowly forwards. And we're going to rotate to our left-hand side. Hana. Do. Set. Net to the center. Das. Yes. You. Yo to the right. Hana. Do. Set. Net to the center. Das. Yes. You. Yo. Slowly forwards. Hana. Do. Set. Net. So we're going to try a different stretch. See if it makes a difference for you guys. What I found is when I'm leaning forwards, if I tense the muscles in the inside of my legs, you'll feel the stretch at the back of your bum. And that's what's going to help you pivot your hips forwards. And then you just relax and then tense a little bit more, go forwards a bit, relax, tense a bit more, go forwards. And that really, really opens those hips out. So let's try just tensing inside of your legs. Lean forwards till you can't lean forwards anymore. Hold it and relax. Tense again, lean forwards. Hold it. Relax, tense again, lean forwards, hold it, relax. Just find you can get lower and lower each time. It's a really good way of just increasing that stretch because the muscles, by tensing here, you're supporting a lot of the muscles and the smaller muscles underneath. Again, you're stretching, whereas just leaning forwards like that sometimes isn't enough. So if we bring our legs together, shaping this, let's bring it onto our fronts. Again, we're just going to push our hips forwards. Stretch up, 1, 2, set, net, that's it, yes, 2, yo, one foot, push your heels to the floor, 1, 2, set, net, that's it, yes, 2, yo, and up, sweet, sir, okay, thank you, so rotate your hips, 1, 2, set, net, change, that's it, yes, 2, yo, chip. If you're going to put your right foot back, sparring stance, so again, we'll go back over what we talked about before. When you're doing a leg lift, and you bring your foot back down, don't forget the crossing motion as you step back. So we kind of this way here. So as the hip comes back, the arm comes back with it, and it kind of finishes at a nice sort of technique together. So by the count, up, pull it. Set. Net. Yes. Yes. You. 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 When we change Papakut, we're going to swap our hands as we swap our stance. Good. Same again. Up, forward. 2. Set. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You. You. So we're going to work on stepping kicks today. Can you bring the screen a little bit forward, okay, so you can see the feet. So with the step kicks, you have 2 types of step kicks that you can do. The first one is obviously the cross-leg step. If you have a lot of space, if someone is moving away from you and you want to be chasing them, this is the big step. But we're just going to work on sliding our feet together. This is kind of a deceptive way of not giving away too much that you're moving forwards. If your front leg doesn't move, it makes it a lot harder for the person to read. So we're going to work on just sliding out and just pushing our hip in this rocking motion to create momentum for the kick. Okay, so screen down a little bit, sir. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to put our up a bit, sorry, from here. So just so you can get to the top of the head. So we're going to work on just this stepping motion here. Turn, and throw that hip forward. Okay, So if I get you to put your left foot back, see again, stepping back this way. Again, we're just going to slide this way. And back. So if you can keep the same level as you step as well. 2, slide. And back. 10. So you see the hip coming in. 10. And back. Good. 10. Back. 1, toss. Change our stance. Same again, we're going to slide. Just sliding the hip forward. 1. Step back. Good. 2. 10. So again, we don't want to cross too far apart. We just want to slide this kind of motion here. Yeah, slide and back. Just slide and back. Slide. You can bring your hands in as well. Slide. One more. Good. So from here, change your stance. So if I just demonstrate, slide. On Soo Bahk check, inside to out kick. So slide, kick, and then we'll step back. Okay, if you've got enough space to do that. On Soo Bahk, and step back. Good. Okay. So this creates the momentum for this. Okay. 2. Good. So again, because your arms are quite tight to each other, the kicks are easy to do. Okay. 10. Good. Yeah. Toss. Yes. It's 1. 2. Change. Same again. We're sliding, rocking our hips, and we're going to do the inside to out kick with the left foot. 2. 10. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to the combination that we've just done. Because we're going to land quite sideways on, we're going to throw a sideways technique. So you would use this particular kick, to basically bring someone's guard down. You're not actually kicking him in the head, because if Master Bob's here, okay, I'd be moving forwards and I'd just bring his guard down here. Okay, if you can see that, so we're going this way. So again, he's not really moving that far. I'm just closing the distance and just bringing his arm down. Okay, and we're going to throw a circular technique. So what we'll do next, we'll come in, we'll throw the kick, and then we'll step side elbow, Kimaja or Palkut Kongi. So from the side view, step, okay, kick, and then that side elbow comes in to the side. Okay, so you can make your inside to out kick quite linear, not too circular or up and down. Okay, so Ani Soo Bahk or Chagi to the Palkut Kongi. So left foot back, so jump, right, okay, step, kick, Palkut Kongi, side elbow. Good. And then reset your stance. Good. 2. Good. And then step back. Excellent. 10. So good Kimajase or good horse stance will set your next technique up. So the stance for the next move is really, really important. Okay? 2 more. Toss. Last one. Good. Change your stance. Good. Same again. So we're turning the body sideways really as we do the technique. Kick. Palkut Kongi. Step. Kick. Palkut Kongi. So the elbow strike, the thumb is against the chest. Okay, so not this way, this way, this way. Okay, good. And again, 2 step, kick, Halka conga. Elbow strike. Reset. Set, step. And back. Head step. Last one. Toss. Good. So, when you're sideways, your options are quite limited. So, because we're in elbow range, a turning elbow strike is your next logical progression. Okay? So, from the front view, inside to out kick, elbow, turning elbow. We're going to do it like one of our self-defenses. So, from the elbow strike, we bring the hand out, and then we drive the hip back. We throw that backward elbow strike. Like we're pulling back a punch. The stance is back stance. Yeah. Okay. So you want that weight on that supporting leg, that rear leg as you strike. Okay. Sometimes you see this here, but we're going to be Google just say for this technique. All right. So we put our left foot back, spine stance, jump. So let me go from this view so you can see. Let's do the kick and the first elbow together. So step 1, 2. Okay. So as you look over your left shoulder, bring your arm out and rotate 2 and turn. And then back to your guard. Good. And again, first 2 moves. Inside out kick, side elbow strike. 1, 2. There. Turn 2. Good. And then step back to your guard. Excellent. Okay, let's do one more. So I'll face the front for this speed. 1, 2. Good. Reach. And turn 2. So everyone okay with that technique, yeah? So if we go all the way through, Ani Soo Bahk Jagi, Halka Kongyuk, Judo Pablo Kongyuk. Okay. Step back. Good. 2. Make sure we're looking all the way around so we can see the target. And step back. 10. Okay. Yeah. And last one. Last one. Okay, so Bob Sabanin is looking at you guys, saying it's all looking good. Okay, so again, we'll go 3 moves. Inside out kick, side elbow, turning side elbow. Okay. 1, 2, and turn. Let's get back to go. 2, 1, 10. Yeah. Okay, so circle upper again. So practical application. So with an axe kick, it's a long, long technique. So he's got his guard up. The chances are I'm going to land quite close to him because after doing this and stepping forward, you see how close we are. If I show you from the side view, okay, if I take the axe kick down and I land, I'm actually really close. All right. So what we can do is we can elbow and we can turn an elbow the ribs here. So the technique basically is to take one step back. Okay, as we take the guard down here, we step to the outside of the leg. I don't know if you can see our feet here on the outside of his leg, and we turn and we hit the ribs. And that's our technique. Okay. The next one we're going to do is a front kick. So if I just demonstrate, we're going to work on a front kick reverse punch. So we're going to do the same footwork and step forward and punch. Okay, and as we throw the punch, we're going to turn the hips and on the back of the foot is on the ball of the foot for this. This is quite important for the follow-up move. So you'll work on step, creating that distance, kick, and then we'll throw that punch. We need to drop our weight quite low for the punch. So not terribly high, it's more sink your hips down. So we want a little bit of rounding of the movement. Okay, so left foot back, jump. So up chinagi, chura chundan kongi. Right kick, left punch. Right, then reset your stance. So even again, if you can get into a habit of even from here, I'm moving and I'm crossing and I'm finishing with this crisscross motion. Okay, and again, 2. Step back. Good. Set. See if you again, you could, after you've done your up chinagi, so here, if you can drive the punch and the step at the same time, this way, get that hip to throw in. Okay, so it's kind of all, so rather than it being kick, step, punch, kick, and then drive the punches from there. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so that's the first bit. Let's put it on the shelf. Next bit. Okay. This is in one of, I think one of your forms, Sam, actually. From here, we're going to throw the punch into horse stance. Okay. At the same time as you throw the punch into the horse stance, we're going to do a hammer fist going this way. Okay, so one punches forwards, the other goes in a straight line this way. We end up in this stance here. Okay, so let's go from here. Okay, let's work on just that. Just turn, twist. See how you can quick quite low, and then back to your stance again. 2, twist. Excellent. Okay, set, twist. Good. So as that arm comes out now, throw the punch at the same time. Set. Good, and then back. So as soon as this arm finishes punching and it's straight, that's the time to stop the rear arm. That's your guide. So front arm is the brake, stops the rear arm as you move around. Okay, set. Good, and then back. Yeah. And back. Good. Okay, so let's put our right foot back, the left foot back, sorry. So let's work front kick, reverse punch. Now that little twist of your back leg. Set. Now good horse stance. And we're looking forwards. If you use your shoulder and your fist as your eye line, okay, you should be able to see this movement here. Perfect. And then step back. Good. Okay. I've forgotten the Korean name for this. I'm sure it'll come back sometime. All right. Master Ball's thinking of it again. Set. So we want to make sure we don't bend the arm, that it is completely straight as you turn. It just rotates and gives a lot of twist in your hips. Okay, and again, set, step. Really good kimajase. Good kimajase. And step back. One more. Yeah. So nice and relaxed. And then from here, chase up. Same thing. Front kick, left reverse punch, and then a cat runs that one, so okay. We can't think of the name. I'm sure we'll find out. Okay. So, kick. And turn. Good. And then step back. Good. 2. So again, try not to go too much with the shoulders. It's the body that twists. Think of it as if you look at my legs from here, if you just bring the spring down a little bit, so focus on the legs. Okay, you'll see it's, this is where you, yeah. So as soon as the heel hits the floor, it stops. If that makes sense, yeah? Okay, thanks, sir. Okay, and again. Last one. Yes. Step back. Okay. Last basic we're going to do. So I've been thinking about when I'm teaching you guys, what can I put in these combinations? And I've been thinking about a lot of the higher level forms, and why not we practice them at gut level? These moves here. Let's put them in because they're all useful. So we're going to work on roundhouse kick with a double elbow strike, and this is from Chosun Saohyun. You'll see this in the Chosun forms at higher levels. These double elbows are quite prominent. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll work the step, roundhouse kick, and then double elbow strike. I'll show you from the side view. As you roundhouse kick, you're sideways, your arms cross, you step in, oh sorry, you step in and you do this double elbow. So they're actually just past your chest, the center of your chest. It's going to be this fried chicken wing motion here. Okay, so again, I'll show you from the side. Roundhouse kick, and then so on top rather than below. Okay, so again, if I get you to put your right foot back, so okay, Dorio Chagi, okay, Jan Palka Kong. Good, so double elbow to the side. Good, step back. Excellent. Two. Remember on those roundhouse kicks, we talked about this in the last class, always pulling it back, okay? Because you can kick and it can go a little bit floppy, but it needs to be tight back to the back of your leg. Okay. Step, kick, lovely, and then step back. Okay. Next position, we're going to slightly change our stance from side stance to more modified front stance, I guess. Can you focus on the legs for a second? Okay. So if you look at my legs, the front foot turns towards the target. So we're opening our hips up for this particular move. So from the closed hip position to the open hip position, because we could just go that way, but we're going to be 50-50. All right. So from this position, we're going to turn. Okay. We bring the screen up a little bit. As we turn, we're going to throw a Kwando strike, a hammer fist. So how it looks from the side view is as you drop your arm first, step, and then Kwando strike. Okay, so here you drop and you Kwando. Okay, so we'll work on roundhouse kick, double elbow, hammer fist. Okay, left foot back. Kick, elbow, drop, hop, and then hammer. Good, 50-50 stance. Perfect. Stepping back. Okay, lovely. Good stance. Stance is the real key to making these techniques work. So when we're using arms, especially Kwandos and punches, the lower your stance is, the more powerful, the more base you have. For kicking, high stance is good. For hand techniques, low stance. Okay. And again, two step, kick, double elbow, drop, Kwando. Perfect. Step back. Okay. On the side. Step. Kick. Double elbow. Kwando. Yeah, nice. Okay, next move. Jan Kwando. Jan Kwando. This beautiful windmill technique that we have in the system. Okay. So once you've squared up and you've done this, drop your rear arm and go down with the front arm and just over the top with the rear arm. All right. So if I show you from this view, this drives the hip forward. You see how you do this? And that just drives the front arm or the rear arm forwards. So don't think of it as throwing the rear arm forwards because there's no power, because there's nothing going on with this side of your body. It's the front side of the body doing this that drives that arm forwards. And that gives you that power that you need. So what we'll do, we'll round kick, we'll double elbow, we'll get to here, and then we'll drive it so you get that feeling when you're doing it. Okay? Left foot back. So step, kick, double elbow, hammer fist. Now, drive your hips down. There we go, lovely. You find it, step back. You'll find it's a lot easier to perform these moves if the correct side of your body is working. Okay? And again, left foot back. Set. Down. Good. Excellent. Okay. So let's try all the way through. Okay. Roundhouse kick, double elbow, Kwando, Jan Kwando. Okay. As a whole sequence. It flows really nicely. Okay. So by the count. Right foot, left foot. Back to your guard. Let's step back. Good. 2. Set. That's it. Nice. Back here. 2 more. Yeah. That's it. That's the back. So if you want to, okay, you can combine as one move. Okay. So here, 1, 2. That's quite a nice way to flow with that hammer fist. Let's try two extra ones with combining the first and the second move together. You'll find that it'll be a lot easier. Okay. Yes. Okay. That flows really, really nicely. Okay, last one. 2. Okay, so from a application point of view, okay, we are sparring, okay, into the body, okay, in this position, all right, and then the elbow, the clearing of the arm, and the striking of the head. Yeah, okay. So we're kind of working on the first Kwando motion that we have from the elbow strike is simply to get his arm out of the way. And then you hit right on the back of the head. Now, if I turn you this way, you see better. Okay, so from the long range technique to the body here, okay, we step to the inside of his leg with the elbow. We clear to bring the arm down and we strike right on the back of the head, right on the base of the spine. Okay? And that's kind of what you're using with these double moves. So the first one is quite often moving a limb out of the way, followed by the second one, which is actually doing the damage. That's kind of what we're doing. Okay? So let's move on to the Soo Bahk Dokicho. We did this last class, and I want to continue with it. Powwow number 2, Ebon. It comes from one of my forwards, Chilton Yokwicke. So we talked about this movement here. Okay, so I'll just revise what we're doing. So powwow means embrace the moon. You'll find these big movements and these slow movements. In reality, this is very, very quick. There's no, but it's to teach you what to do with your body. Okay, so if I get you to put your left foot back again, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take a step out to create a kima jase with that right leg. Your right hand goes to the head. Your other arm goes down to your knee. Fingers are facing down. Okay? As we turn our stance forwards, the rear arm pushes towards the groin. The front arm just covers your chest. This is the first technique. Okay? So from this position, high-low, turn your stance, push. Good. Then back again. Okay, to kima jase and push. Your body is going towards your arm rather than your arm towards your body. This way. Okay. Set. Back. Yeah. Back. Toss. Push. So I just show you what we're doing. So wait a second. So this is against someone who's throwing like a haymaker punch. Because no one in real life ever does Chun Dan Kongik. That punch is going to come in. So as the haymaker comes in, we're just blocking it, which is this move here. natural move here. So boom, and then bang, right to the groin. And that's kind of what we're doing. Okay, so block to the inside of the bicep, straight. Next technique is to lean backwards. So from here, we just sit back. We draw the hand at the front back to the knee, and this comes back to the body. So we're just creating a little bit of rocking momentum here. Okay, again back to the knee. You can go slightly further back as well. So let's take this position. We've done the first move. Back, and then forwards. 2, back, and forwards. 10, back, forwards. Yeah, back. So this time, as we go back, as we go forwards, we're going to throw a palm strike or a circular downward palm strike. So from the side view here, over the ear, and back down like a windmill. The real power is that twist of your body that way. Think of it, this generates the arm rather than the arm going first, if that makes sense. So let's start with this position. Okay, so sit back and then push off your rear leg and drive. Super. And then back to the first stance again. And then drive. Good. Back to stance again. Legs drive the hips. Legs drive the arms. Sit. Good. Okay, so let's take it from the first position. So from your sparring stance. Okay. Step and open or embrace. Hana. Sit back. Lovely. Back to your guard. Excellent. Okay. Embrace the move. 2. Excellent. And again. Oh, sorry, my apologies. We should step forward, shouldn't we? Okay. 2. Excellent. Super. So, let's put it on the shelf a second. Let's do the sweep. Sweep. If we separate the sweep, we'll be able to do this. So, if you put your left foot back for me. Okay. So, if you bring the screen down like so, we're going to work on just spinning and doing this, what we call iron broom sweep. This way. So, as you do an iron broom sweep, you sit basically on your back leg, sit back this way, and you have this leg straight. So here, lean and swing in. Okay. So if you put your left foot back, the key really is your shoulder. If you can get your shoulder sideways, the leg will follow. The leg will follow. All right. So think of it as you're moving your stance, shoulder, and that'll take your leg round. A lot of times we think we've got to throw the leg, and we don't think about this shoulder and the body turning. Okay, so the upper part of the body is key for this. So, okay, turn, swing, give it a little bit like first swing turn, okay? And cut the top of the head off if you want, okay? 2, swing, a little bit like so, that's okay? Okay, we're just adjusting so guys can see. 10, in, and back, good. So you're up on the heel. Not the ball of the foot, the heel is up. Okay? Yeah, heel. Heel. Sit. Perfect. Step back. Like we're drawing a circle in the sand. Toss. Heel. Come back. Excellent. One more. Yeah, heel. Step back. Super. Okay, so you bring the screen up for a second. So let's work on all the way through. All moves together. So the power set. So let me show you the first. Let me show you first so you guys can see. So for those of you know, open, we're going to close, we're going to come back, we're going to strike, we're going to come in and we're going to do that sweep to finish. Right? And that is power 1 Ebon, or embrace the moon number 2. Okay? So right foot back, sorry, not right foot back, left foot back, my apologies. So open, close, back, good. Okay, I want to carry that, yeah? Good. 2, open, close, reach, sweep, sweep. See that little pulling of that hip? This way. Bang. And again. Set, open, close, turn, straight, and move that sweep. Nice. So it's weight on that back leg, weight on that right leg the whole time. Okay, and again. Set. Back. Okay. Last one. Toss. So let's go on to Hyung. Okay, we'll come back to three-step later. Two-step later. Thought we'd start with Pyung Sam Dan today. Just break down some elements of it. Maybe not do the whole form because it's quite difficult to do it in a confined space. So we'll work on the first couple of techniques. So it's about your hips being in and out, really, is the key to it, because this sort of popping up motion requires not really the legs to work, but the hips to work more. So if I show you from the side view, when you do your first technique of this, you'll see that this front hip is in. So from the side view, this hip is well and truly contracted. When you bring your back foot here, you see this hip is still contracted. And that's when you stand up, you push from your hip, and you rotate up, you contract again, and you rotate. Obviously, the second one isn't as strong because you don't have that spring up, okay? So we're going to really work on bringing the hips in and just driving the legs and the waist. So you see this kind of motion here to straighten the body up, all right? So if we'll start sideways on. So if you, I don't mind which side that you use. So if you start with one shoulder forwards, we'll start with the step and the inside out walk. Good. Okay, now you've got to keep the same level as you bring your hips in. The shoulder comes forward, not that 40th way. Then drive, up, and then twist, up. Excellent. Okay, and then step back. Good. Right. And what we want to really feel is this twisting, this hip pushing, and this slight hip pushing back out again. Okay, so all from here, rather than you see this quite a lot as well. So, chummy. So if I show you from the side, focus now on really good back stance. So this bum cheek is out, this hip is in. We're here. Okay. So nice and low. Okay, prepare. 2. Lovely. Step to the side again. Right? So, and again. 2. Drive the legs. Excellent. Okay. Let's try it both sides. If I just demonstrate, okay. So from the side view, we'll go here. Look. Again. Which is the first 2 moves. Right? So what I'll do is, if I do it in front of you guys, so imagine I'm standing in front of you in class. We're going to go this way first. We're going to go this way second. Okay, so chubby. Sishi. 2. Prepare. 1. 2. Look over your right shoulder. Turn. 2. Prepare. Drive the hips. 1. 2. Good. Okay. From this position, hands to the hips. Double middle block. Good. Okay, so double middle block. Before you step forwards, you want to bring your hand here. And that's when you drive that fondo strike in. So here, we prepare the stance. So this movement here is a clearing motion. Clearing something out of the way, step over and strike. So this move is really, really, and it gets forgotten quite a lot. It's really, really important. And to support the arm movement, stance has to back it up. And that allows us to then get a good extension on that fondo strike, that honesty strike. Okay. So from here, let's do this position. First position, in. Okay. From there, spearhand, 2. Good, excellent. Let's get back. Okay, so back to This position. In. Good stance. 2. Drive. Lovely. Okay. So, 2 ways you can use this. The first way is to strike the soft tissue of the abs, of the throat, or of the eyes. The other application of this is a takedown. So you can go slightly higher. So this form you can strike and you can throw. So it works for both. Okay. So after your kondo, we're going to do what we call a cross step, which is step and turn our body. And the key is, if you just bring the swing down, sir, if you watch the legs a little bit further so you can see the front leg, you have to swing this foot that way, back towards yourself, as you step through with that other leg, this way. Okay, so it's like a cross leg stance, but you have to turn your toes to the direction you're going. So if I show you from this direction here, okay, so where are we? Yeah, here, okay, you have to turn, okay, twist, all right? So let's start with, let's do the kondo strike with the right leg forwards, okay? Let's don't worry about the hands. We're just going to do this, turn, and still look over our right shoulder, and step back. Good. 2, turn, step back, lovely. Set, turn. Let me bring the screen up a bit, sir. Now, from the kondo strike, the hands do this. So, yeah, this stays in your armpit, and this goes onto the back of the hand goes on the hip, and it works this way, this way. This is an arm lock defense. I'll show you it when we get back to class, but this will stop you getting put in this arm lock position. Okay, so from here, step, there, step. Okay. So kondo strike. 1, yeah, good. We've got a nice little stance here. And then step, 2, step, excellent, and then step back, set, turn, and back, yeah, turn. Now, you go feet, sir. Okay, last one's going to go feet. What you can do, you have quite a short stance here, so when you rotate round, you've actually got a step as well. So you step back, and then you rotate into horse stance. So if I show you, yeah. So here, short, you step, you turn, and you create this long stance. Okay, so once again, this view, it's short and then step and long. Okay, step and long. So let's go back to screen up, sir. First position, we're going to do this. 1. So we're going to drop our arm. Okay, as the long step happens, we go over the top. We use it like a windmill strike. Yeah. If I show you from this position, here, drop the arm, and come over the top with this kondo strike. Okay. So again, from the kondo, 1, drop the arm, 2, 1, step forward, punch. Super. Okay, let's go back to the kondo strike. Back to the kondo strike. 1. This is nice and low now, guys. Nice and low. Hips are in. Okay, from here, step, 1, 2, and punch. Okay. Preparation move. Yeah. Preparation move. So if you bring the screen down so you better see. So with the preparation move, okay, you'll see that you kind of come up on the balls of your feet and your hands are in this position, okay? And as you put your heels down, your fists go to your hips or your belt, this way. So as you punch, okay, bend your legs, okay, and then down we come. Right, so if you bring it up, sir. So we've done the punch. 1, 2, excellent. Now if you bring the screen down, sir, for the first kick, 2 ways you can do this. You can take a little cheeky step, and then you can outside in kick, or you can just throw your hip from there. It's quite difficult with your feet together to kick. So if you bring the screen up again, sir. So how you can get around this problem is the little step and to throw your shoulder. Okay? So step, shoulder, and that allows that first move to come round. So again, if I show you from the other side, step and shoulder allows that to come round. Okay, so if we start with facing me in this position. So in your form, you're going to bring your left leg a little bit forwards if you need to. Your right foot's going to kick. One. Good. Now from here, we're going to draw the knee out and the elbow back, and we're going to stamp down this way. Okay, good. Arm drops, and then we hammer fist. Pull down. Excellent. And back on the hips. So the reason for doing this is, if I show you from the side view, when you've done this outside to in and you bring back, if you bring the foot down, the screen down, sir, the first technique is a stamp. Stamp to the leg. When you're stamping, also this hip is contracting. See the hips coming in. That's going to set your next move up. So we can stamp and have our hips square, but there's nothing in it. We need to drive the hip down, if that makes sense, yeah? And that allows you, when you drop your arm, to drive your hip up, and you see how the arm goes with the hip, and you rotate, and you flick it back on. And now you're square again. Does that make sense, yeah? So we're going to work on rounding that hip. So from here, let's do the first kick. So a little step with your left foot, one. And then drive that hip down. Good, drop the arm, and two, back on the hips. Excellent, and again, step back again, right? So from here, step one, and drive, here, drop, hips, this way, okay, step back again, screen up, sir. Okay, so it applies to all three. We'll just work one day, all three of the moves. Okay, last time. Step, drive. One, two, drop, three. Back on the hips. Good. Okay. So what I used to do is sometimes it's good to practice the whole form, but what I would do is I would take an element of the form like we're doing now, and I would just rehearse that. Okay, let me understand what I'm doing on this bit before I move on to the next one. Every bit is clear, so you know what you're doing with your hips. So the best thing you can do is, I was always bugging my instructor, Master Gap, about like, okay, when you do this, sir, and you do this movement form, where's your hips? What do you do? And I'd go back and I'd ask him questions. If I can't work out where I'm supposed to be using my hips, he can help me, if that makes sense. So please feel free to ask questions about any of this. Okay, so we'll do a couple more. So we'll start from here. We'll step with that leg. Kick. Open, one, drop, hop, and hips back, and back on the hips. Perfect. Last one. Okay. On this position. Kick, drive, hips down, back, and back here. Good. Okay. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of a few extra moves on the kicks. Okay, so let's do a little bit of conditioning. Okay, I've been doing this all the time with everyone to make your legs super, super strong. Okay, so we're going to do 45 seconds of just kicking our leg up. Okay, the idea is not to have a spectacular front kick, because this is rubbish. The idea of doing this is to wear out your quad muscles, to make them really, really strong. And also for your hip flexors at the top that connect your tummy to your legs. They're good for extending the hips and good strength for kicking. This is a way you can tire them out and make them super strong. Okay, so I've got a clock behind my computer so I can see the second hand going around. We'll do 45 seconds. Okay, so any leg you like, we pop them up and chuck. Let's work on just chucking it out. No real power. The idea is to kind of move this in. It's a really, really good exercise for balance, for control, but also just for fitness. Okay. Okay, we are already 15 seconds in, guys, so we've got 30 seconds or 25 seconds left now. Now. Good. Okay, excellent. 20 seconds left. Just kicking out the hips. Start to feel it now on the top of your leg, hopefully in your hip flexors, which is the top set of muscles at the top of your leg. 10 seconds left. Good. 6, even if it's really, really tough, just keep going. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, just rotate your hips. Hana, do, set, net, das. Okay, so other leg. So again, 5 second, up, and switch up. Again, we're just working on just chucking out the leg. Okay, so guys, good. So we're already 15 seconds in. Okay. Again, you're always going to have one leg that's slightly not as strong as the other. Okay, but again, I found doing this type of training that my front kicks really improved. So I had the strength to push the hip out and pull it back. Whereas before, when I didn't do this type of training, I couldn't do it. My legs just went floppy. So I want to bring this more into your training when we get back to the dojang as well. So I think it's really, really important for making all the areas of the muscle strong. So it's kind of like called functional training. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Rotate hips. Hana, do, set, net change. Das. Yes. Good. Yeah. So we're going to finish with some sit-ups. Okay. So we'll do crunches. So we're going to do the sets of 4 crunches that we have been doing for the previous weeks, which is the first set of crunches is just bringing your tummy into the floor and your hands on your temples. The second set is obviously crossing the arms to give you a bit more weight. Third set is to just go past the knees. And the fourth set is to finish with your legs in the air. Okay, going for the toes. Right count. Hana. Good. Set. Net. That's it. That's it. Little. Little. Up. Little. Cross the arms. Little. Yi. Sam. Sa. Oh. Look. Chill. Up. Good. Slip to the knees. Hana. Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. Little. Little. Up. Little to the toes. Hana. Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. You. Yo. Up. Yo. And up. Okay, so let's just roll down. So from here, if you put your right hand just across your chest, and then just cup it up with your left. Hana. Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. Good. You want to change? Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. Good. You from left, right, behind your head. Pull down. Hana. Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. Good. You want to change? Hana. Good. Set. Net. That's it. Yes. Good. Your last 2 stretches. Right leg forwards. Again, we're going to sit in that position that we did before. Both hands go on the knee. Good. Set. Net. Yes. Yes. Good. You want to change legs. Good. Set. Net. Yes. Yes. Good. Yeah. Excellent. Super. So really good class today. Well done. Chop. See you guys Thursday. Okay, well done, guys.